President Joe Biden's first State of the Union is tonight. How will he address the country amid a global crisis? Break out the beads and get ready for King Cake. We're celebrating Mardi Gras right here in LA.
Annenberg TV News is next.
Just hours before delivering a State of the Union address, President Joe Biden spoke with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. This call could set a precedent for how the president addresses Russia's attacks on Ukraine. Good evening, I'm Jacob Wheeler. The president is expected to announce that the U.S. is closing airspace to Russian planes. Capital
cases are down, everything's down. We should not be in this state of perpetual lockdown.
No one's really happy when things cost more. He really has lost some progressives and even some moderate Democrats where it comes to not being able to pass a lot of progressive like social welfare stuff.
The low polling numbers are really, really bad for President Biden. And he's going to has to hang a lot on this speech. And we don't expect one speech to turn around his entire fate. But he's hoping it can be a big building block for what will be a better, stronger perception in the public of Joe Biden as an effective president.
Polls show that Presidents Trump and Biden both lost support in their first year in office. Trump had a 34% approval rating at his first State of the Union. Fast forward to today, just 37% of Americans like how Biden has handled the job so far. Biden will focus tonight's speech on the Russia-Ukraine crisis, rising inflation, and COVID concerns. He's also expected to make a bipartisan pitch to solve a growing mental health crisis. Conservative Governor of Iowa, Kim Reynolds, will deliver the Republican response. Now to the latest on the Russia-Ukraine war. An explosion in Kyiv today knocked out the capital's main television and radio tower. Another attack in Ukraine's second largest city killed at least 10 civilians. The attack on the TV tower has temporarily taken television channels off the air. At least 5 people were killed. Satellite footage from today shows Russian troops closing in on Kyiv. The rocket attack in Kyiv targeted a large administrative building in the city's main square. Later in the day, Russian airstrikes hit several of Kyiv's residential neighborhoods.
Vigils expressing solidarity with the people of Ukraine have been happening around the world. Tonight, the USC community joins a vigil organized by the Office of Religious and Spiritual Life. The Interfaith Vigil begins at 6 o'clock at the University Religious Center courtyard. The goal is to create a space for the USC community to express their solidarity and emotions. The Associate Dean says spirituality is especially important during difficult times.
When our hearts suffer, we need to meet and suffer together. When our hearts are full and joyful, we need to lift that up. By reflecting together, we're able to experience more ourselves and come to terms with our reality. The agenda is to share from our hearts and speak the truth of our hearts together.
The priest of a local Ukrainian church told me the best way to show support for Ukraine is through prayer and providing monetary and medical resources for those on the ground. Sports and entertainment companies are responding to Ukraine's call to boycott Russia. Disney, Warner Brothers, and Sony are all pulling their content from the Russian market, and performers are canceling tour dates. FIFA and UEFA said national representative or club teams shall be suspended from participation in both FIFA and UEFA competitions until further notice. Football is fully united here and in full solidarity with the people affected in Ukraine. Disney said, given the unprovoked invasion of Ukraine and the tragic humanitarian crisis, we are pausing the release of theatrical films in Russia, including the upcoming Turning Red from Pixar.
This is a time when theatrical releases particularly have been, continually suffering because of the pandemic. So for them to make this kind of move that will, definitely impact them somewhat financially, I think is a very brave choice, and I think it's the right decision.
For more on the local impact of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, let's go check in with Reporter Draco Guan.
Speaking of local impact, in West LA, thousands of protesters gathered outside the Senator Dianne Feinstein's office to call for more sanctions over the weekend. Russia's invasion of Ukraine is also driving up gas station prices. Right across the street from the rally is where we met this driver filling up his tank. He says he's very concerned about the rising cost of the gas, and he's not alone.
I usually come to Arco because it's slightly cheaper than the other places, but it's just rising everywhere around here.
We're almost at $5 now, so it's just ridiculous how hard we have to work every day to put gas in our car.
I had to be in a budget, pretty much. I can't be spending my money in certain things that I don't need. I'm a mom of twins too, so peppers do be going fast. A lot of things come from Russia, and it's just like sad how everything's happening and how it's affecting everything in the world.
Gas prices here in California are some of the highest in the nation, but it's only getting higher. Take a look at this. You are now paying 9 cents more than you did last week and 20 more cents a gallon than last month. I talked to a professor to find out why.
Our major arteries of petroleum and natural gas that flow from Russia via Ukraine and Belarus to Europe. If any of those major oil pipelines, for example, get destroyed, then that could cause a temporary shock of supply of oil onto the market. And so the prices will just jump extraordinarily high.
Gas prices are likely to climb even higher as the war continues and if the U.S. imposes more sanctions on Russia.
It's a big day for the Los Angeles Fire Department. The City Council voted unanimously to confirm a new fire chief. Reporter Krista Lucas introduces us to the first female chief in LAFD history.
The Los Angeles Fire Department has been saving lives and buildings for 136 years. And that's how long it's taken for a woman to become its leader. The City Council appointed Kristen Crowley today as the first female chief for LAFD.
And I think it's so fitting for this nomination to come to council today on the first day of Women's History Month. Chief Crowley made a name for herself in the department as a strong leader, a hard worker, and someone who does not shy away from a challenge.
Crowley started at the LAFD in 1998. She has also made history as the first female fire marshal, and her education includes the USC Sol Price School of Public Policy.
The fact that it is a female is awesome, but I think she would agree that it's just not about her being a female. It's the fact that she's qualified. She is an outstanding officer. She's an outstanding firefighter.
In her 22-year tenure, Crowley not only rose through the ranks as firefighter, captain, and deputy chief, but she also made an effort to improve the department's conditions.
Crowley has helped build a 5-year plan that aims to change the culture at the Los Angeles Fire Department. She has said that it will bring more equity and inclusion.
Having somebody as ideal of that position as Chief Crowley is, I think it's going to be a significant change, not only in culture of some of our maybe our older generations, but it's going to be a step forward in the sense of, hey, this is the new norm.
After today's confirmation, Mayor Eric Garcetti said, quote, Crowley has proven her brilliance, determination, and bravery on the job again and again. Crowley will take over after Chief Rolf Terrazas retires at the end of next month. For Annenberg Media, Krista Lucas.
More to come, how USC is loosening COVID restrictions across campus.
And we're bringing NOLA to LA, how locals are celebrating Mardi Gras right here in Southern California.
And the nominees are, we're looking at fan favorites to win at the 94th Annual Academy Awards.
Worried your friend's struggling but don't know how to reach out?
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could write them a text or knit them a sweater. If you can't be together, you could write them a letter. Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking. You could chat on the game, kick off your flip-flops. You could ask on your couch while you binge watch. However you do it, you gotta ask a friend. And if they don't share, you can ask again.
Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking.
There are a lot of ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
LA County's indoor mask mandate could be lifted as early as Friday. This comes as a new response to new CDC standards and a decline in COVID-19 hospitalizations. But before you throw away your mask, public health officials still stress the importance of mask wearing. And masks must still be worn in federally mandated places like airports, transit centers, and healthcare facilities. USC took one more step today, getting everyone back to normal. The university's new COVID-19 protections went into effect today as part of a new phased approach to lifting all restrictions. As of today, students who are fully vaccinated and boosted are no longer required to test weekly to enter campus. However, testing sites remain available. Gyms are also now open to students without reservations. Students have been waiting for this change for a while.
We're busy students, things happen. That opportunity to go whenever the moment arises is really convenient for a lot of people.
I feel like it's going to be a mess, especially the first couple weeks when everyone wants to go and use the equipment that they haven't been able to use because they've had to wait a couple days before making an appointment in advance.
The gym is a good place for everyone to just de-stress. Like for me, it's a good way for my mental health. Like I always try to make sure I go once a day just to make sure that I am doing something other than just putting my nose in books.
USC has not yet specified whether masking will still be required indoors once the mandate is lifted here in Los Angeles.
It's Fat Tuesday, which means Mardi Gras celebrations are winding down. Well, depending where you are. Reporter Lupe Llerenas is live at the LA Farmers Market at the Grove, where Tuesday is just warming up.
That's right, the original farmers market at Fairfax and 3rd has been celebrating Mardi Gras for 32 years. But since we can't be in New Orleans, NOLA is here in LA. As you can see behind me, the Nervous Bros 2.0 are performing right now, and people are enjoying the amazing food and what there's to offer. But LA right here is not just the only place celebrating Mardi Gras here in the city. Take a look. In South LA, Grill restaurant Harold and Belt is also hosting its own Mardi Gras event. They will have live music and authentic Southern cuisine until 11 tonight. The restaurant's owner says it's important to have a place for people in the community to continue their traditions.
Just nice to have people here to celebrate, as a restaurant owner, we create spaces for people to come enjoy their events, their milestones in life and to celebrate.
We're from New Orleans, so this means everything to us. It's like our national holiday. So we're so happy that we could be here and get our last party in before Lent starts tomorrow.
After a 2-year pause in Mardi Gras celebration due to the pandemic, residents of New Orleans are now celebrating in a grand fashion. Today's parade included elaborated costumes, lively music, and an overall sense of enthusiasm. Now I wish you would be here to feel the excitement, the music, dancing, and you see I have my beats, so all I'm gonna do is go check out the food, the music. So Eric, if you want anything, shoot me a text, I got you. For Annenberg Media, I'm Lupe Llerenas, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Loopy. Damn, that's some good music. I just sent you a text with a Mardi Gras Fat Tuesday food. I'll have some of those Cajun shrimps or sausages. Mwah. Good evening, people. Welcome back to Eric Choi's weather forecast. Lots to be aware this week, so let's get right into it. So we've had these gusty winds these last couple of days. Here's the atmosphere is really dry. Here's a look at our current conditions. We've got clear skies, 71 degrees, 21% humidity, mostly sunny, and some breezes, around 5 miles per hour, becoming calm in the evening. Starting tomorrow, our temperatures will begin to cool again, still above average, a high of 80 degrees and 51 degrees on Wednesday, but we'll have multiple chances of rain and low pressure as we head towards the end of the week into the weekend. We're watching it very closely. Temperatures are tumbling down into the 50s on Friday, and with a chance of precipitation around 70%, so rain is likely and possibly thunderstorms as well, maybe even some hail. Still a slight chance of rain on Saturday, and on Sunday it'll be sunny again. So overall, we've got sunshine and warmth for tomorrow. Cooler weather's arriving in the next few days. Academy members won't be the only ones voting for their favorite films this year. For the first time, the Academy Awards will feature a new fan favorite category. The Academy Awards released a list of frontrunners based on the votes that have come in. These are the 10 finalists as of this week, with films such as Spider-Man No Way Home, Dune, The Suicide Squad. We spoke to students of the USC School of Cinematic Arts on which film they think will take home a statue.
Dune or Spider-Man. I know that Zendaya is in both movies.
Spider-Man No Way Home is going to be the winner for a lot of reasons, mainly because it has 3 generations of Spider-Man, starting with Tobey Maguire, and Tom Holland is really on his kick right now.
I think out of that list of films, Dune is going to win. I think that there are better films on the list that are probably going to win non-fan favorite Oscars that are voted on, but I think people just love Zendaya, Timothée Chalamet.
They really do. And fans of these films can vote on Twitter or on the website OscarsFanFavorite.com. Voting closes this Thursday. The winner will be revealed during the 94th annual Oscars ceremony on March 27th. That's all we've got for weather and the Oscars from Annenberg Media. I'm Eric Choi. For more on the big basketball game against Arizona Wildcats today, over to sports.
Yeah, Eric, thank God the weather is nice because fans are lining up as USC and Arizona square off in a battle of top-ranked teams at the Galen Center tonight. USC women's swim took home 4 individual titles. We talked to the 200-yard breaststroke champion. And the first 2 series of the MLB season have been canceled. All coming up in sports.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Happy Tuesday and welcome to ATVN Sports. I'm Hayes Flanagan.
And I'm Noah Camrus. The calendars have flipped to March, and that could only mean one thing: it's time for madness. The 16th ranked Trojans are welcoming the number 2 team in the country into the Galen Center tonight. In just a few hours, the Trojans will battle the Arizona Wildcats with major tournament implications on the line. If Arizona wins tonight, they'll take home the Pac-12 regular season title and clinch the number 1 seed in next week's Pac-12 tournament. Now, if USC wins, they'll secure their first ever win against the top 2 seed in the Galen Center. They'll also be better positioned when the NCAA tournament begins in 2 weeks. Fans have already started lining up for the big game, and our reporter Nathan Hyun has been in line for the past hour. Nathan, how's it looking over there at the Galen Center?
Well, Noah, it is definitely quite the scene here. Since I've been here, I've been able to make some friends. How's it going, guys? So while I've been here, the line has already extended past Galen Center into Flower Street, and USC students can get into the game free for using their student ID. And some professors I've talked to have said that they have canceled class, so some students can get in. Athletic Director Mike Bone sent out an email yesterday to the student body that the game is sold out to regular fans, and they're giving out an additional 1,000 free student tickets. USC is hoping to break the student attendance record, which was set during the UCLA game earlier this season. Some students waiting in line have high expectations for the sold-out atmosphere.
I hope to see a similar atmosphere. We're gonna need it. I think I think it helps the team a lot, especially when it's a full house like we've seen. I think UCLA was really fullest ever. Washington State game, that was also good energy. I think that helped us a lot too.
I know for the UCLA game, it was wrapped around all the way down that way, and they had to deny some people, and they gave out more student tickets. So yeah, we're beating that student record ticket.
So gates, don't open here for about another hour, but as you can tell, I'm very excited. These guys are very excited. USC is actually giving out free shirts to the first 1,000 students into the gate, so I need to get going in line here. But for right now, live at the Galen Center, for Annenberg Media, I'm Nathan Dunn.
Yeah, that really looks exciting, Nathan. I know I'm going to be running over there after this to get in line. And Hayes, obviously this is a good game, and USC has won 6 in a row, but this will be by far their toughest test. So who do you have winning tonight?
I'm taking the Wildcats. I just think you got to go with the number 2 seed in the country. They're coming in excited because they could clinch the Pac-12 regular season title. I just don't see how USC could come to Coloco and Mathurin's talent and really beat them tonight.
A little bit. Like I said, they've won 6 in a row. They've won 8 of 9, and their only loss was against this Arizona team in February. And in that game, I know I've mentioned this on the show before, they had a 6-point lead with 6.5 minutes to go, and then they fell off. They shot 1 of 14 and lost. But since then, they found that clutch shooting that they lacked. I mean, against UCLA, it was Drew Peterson. It was Boogie Ellis' buzzer beater against Washington State. Then we had Isaiah Mobley in the double overtime game against Oregon State. And then again, it was Drew Peterson who hit the game-winning shot against Oregon with 11 seconds to go. So I think that they proved that Arizona game was winnable. They just couldn't finish in the clutch, and now they have the tools to score in the clutch. So I think USC is going to win this game. I think they're going to take a 7-game winning streak into Pauley Pavilion on Saturday for their final game of the regular season against UCLA.
It will be an exciting game. Can't wait to see what happens. The women's swim team took 3rd place this weekend at the Pac-12 Championship, taking home 4 individual titles. The team celebrated many wins, but a special win came from senior Issa Odgers. Odgers swam her heart out, taking home her first Pac-12 championship in the 200-yard breaststroke. Her freshman year, Odgers placed 8th overall in the event, and after that, she set her sights on the podium. Odgers' determination was on full display this weekend.
We kind of sat down to do goal meetings at the beginning of the season, and I told the coaches, I was like, I want to win the 200 breaststroke at Pac-12s. So this last Pac-12s was just taking everything that I'd learned, every experience, every friendship, and every memory, and putting it towards that. So I think that just having fun with each other and doing what we do every day in practice helped us be super successful. I think that the Trojan athletic family is something that will always hold a special place in my heart. Being an athlete at USC is incredible for so many different reasons.
Issa's twin brother Jackson and the rest of the men's swim team are en route to Federal Way to start their quest for the Pac-12 championship beginning tomorrow. Opening day is canceled. Today, the MLB Players Association unanimously agreed to not accept MLB's final proposal of a new collective bargaining agreement, thus delaying the start of the MLB season.
The calendar dictates that we're not going to be able to play the first 2 series of the regular season, and those games are officially canceled.
In a statement, the Players Association said, quote, "We are united and committed to negotiating a fair deal that will improve the sport for players, fans, and everyone who loves our game. Negotiations will resume on Thursday with hopes of striking a deal so that spring training can begin next Tuesday." Well, that wraps it up for sports. Next up, the USG election season is over, and now only one question remains: who will win? And USC students are celebrating Women's History Month by telling us their favorite sheroes.
Lávate las manos por 20 segundos como Elmo.
Hay algo especial acerca de este lugar. Se siente como un hogar, una sala debajo del cielo y los árboles. Rodeado de aire fresco y la naturaleza. Todo aquí para que lo disfrutemos y para que lo cuidemos. Tenemos la responsabilidad de cuidar de esta tierra que llamamos casa, de preservarla para las generaciones que vienen. Cada acción pequeña contribuye para un cambio mayor y cada uno de nosotros podemos hacer la diferencia. Hay algo especial acerca de este bosque. Es un lugar donde se hacen recuerdos y juntos podemos preservarla y protegerla.
USG elections are coming to a close. The big announcement about who will be representing the USC student body will be announced tonight at 7. Tune in to usg.usc.edu to watch the announcement live. This year, 3 presidential tickets are vying to represent the student body: Hannah Woodworth and Nevaeh Krishnan, Rachel Lee and Colin Colson, and Kyle Valdez and Safal Menji.
Today marks the first day of Women's History Month. 34 years ago, Congress designated March as the month to honor contributions of women. So today we asked USC students about the women they look up to.
One woman in history that inspires me is Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who recently passed away, and that's because she was able to take a case to the Supreme Court that allowed for discrimination based on gender to not be allowed legally.
Megan Rapinoe, she's a soccer player, and I'm pretty inspired by her because of the confidence that she plays with and the community that she represents.
Rosa Parks. I feel like she really stood up for herself, and she showed what it means to be a woman and have courage.
Barbara Corcoran, she's the woman on Shark Tank. She's someone that, a strong businesswoman that, created her own company and sold it for a lot of money, and she now invests in other ventures.
You know, it's funny, Tatum, 2 of my top contenders were already said in that package. Rosa Parks, the mother of civil rights, is my personal shero, but my mother would be pretty upset with me if I didn't recognize her on live TV. So Mom, you're my shero.
You know what, I have to say as well, my sheroes, chief among them are Billie Holiday and Erykah Badu, but I'm gonna have to go with the mom one too. My mom was just, an incredible person, and she was a woman of multitudes, and it was incredible to grow up seeing those multitudes of her and so many other of the women of my life. So. And moms are the best, and she'd be very happy seeing you today. Thanks for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Jacob Wheeler. And I'm Tatum Larson. For more coverage, watch and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Annenberg Media. Good night.